Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Ryan the Mighty Quinn here, the cornerman underscore MMA. We're doing a little fight watch here. UFC 288. Man, 288 already. Crazy. One of the silently rising stars. Although, he has been around a while here. He's warming up right now. Drew Dober, number 14th in the world, taking on Matt Frevola. 10-3. I'm sure he might be ranked after this one if he pulls it off. Uh, really looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to seeing the adjustments that Matt has made. I did in the previous video doing the fight look. Um, it's clear that Matt is wrestling, grappling favored, so to speak. I felt that he throws bombs, however, and he has that rolling right hand, so he moves his head somewhat. However, he throws all his punches with power. What do I mean by that? Is like he throws it all at the same. Uh, he throws everything at the same speed. To me, like that kind of gets easy to time. You get that down, especially like a Drew Dober who has a substantial Muay Thai background. I really would like to see if Matt developed a feint during this one, or at the very least just loosened up a little bit. Sometimes when you're throwing too much power, you're a little tight. That was my issue anyway. So it's really going to be interesting to see that. Like I said, add a feint into your game. It would slow things down as far as the striking realm for him. I think he's going to be somewhat wrestling based. He's got that Long Island wrestling background, which is some of the top origins in the country in terms of folk style wrestling, American wrestling. And we'll see if he can implement it. Now, what do I mean by that? When people like somebody like him against somebody like a Drew Dober, which Drew does have some solid wrestling, but like there's a big difference in MMA if you have solid wrestling or if you have a solid double leg. And I think that Matt has solid wrestling. He can go from double leg to single leg, high crotch, single leg lift, things like that, body lock, as opposed to just body lock and double leg. So they're doing a little main card preview right now. Now, I did want to cover a little bit. I was going to do a video, maybe not though. I was at Game Bred Fighting last night. Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA, the first ever sanctioned bare knuckle MMA event in Florida. Awesome. Just really the whole backstory. Those backyard fights were pretty serious in South Florida. It's obviously not legal, but it was a very big part of the culture down here. You can make quite a bit of money doing it too. Some of the guys. Um, and it was really amazing they put it together. When I saw Jorge and I saw Dean Toole, I couldn't help but say congratulations, you guys knocked it out of the park. This really was amazing. Despite what people might think of the bare knuckle, it was really awesome to be part of that and to see it. I was really so happy for everybody being on the floor. And what I saw too is, I never watched bare knuckle live. This is the first time I saw bare knuckle live. Obviously now, um, things change a little bit. The scoring is the same, obviously. MMA is MMA, no matter if it's bare knuckle or gloves, whatever. But the the biggest takeaway I took is it kept your hands honest. That's what I mean. So now, when you're punching bare knuckle, we got to keep in mind, really, those pads there are really to protect your hands, not necessarily to protect your opponent's skull. Although it kind of looks like that, it looks like a pillow to some of these people, but that's just not the case. So, how to keep hands honest? I saw a little bit more crisper boxing, not just kickboxing and overall striking. I saw crisper boxing with the with the overall output from all the fighters, whether they had a striking background or not. Kept it down the middle, then moved their head. It forced people to be looser, because you want to make sure you're punching straight. Because if you punch wrong with the no gloves, you could break your hands. Actually, I wasn't told if there was any major hand injuries last night from the fighters I spoke to that got out of the cage after. They seemed all right. A couple of guys went the distance that I spoke with. No complaints. Everybody got paid though. Yeah, George Masvidal's doing a really good job with that. I really can't wait for the next one, see what they do. So, but anyway, I just wanted to make quick mention of that, and we will go back to this fight watch. Really looking forward to this whole card, that co-main event. I'm really glad they put that together. Looks like Kobe's going to be put on the back burner again. Dana White announced that this will be the number one contender. That sucks that he does that. I don't like when you say it's definitely one thing and then you switch it up. It kind of makes your word, kind of liquidates it. Kind of like when he said women would never be in MMA, little things like that. And that's why I believe that Francis Ngannou could find himself back in the UFC again, because Dana White does tend to be wishy-washy when it comes to those things. But, you know, maybe it's not these wishy-washy. I tend to say things when I'm in the heat of the battle, too. So we all got our faults. Am I right? But here we go. Here we're looking at Drew and Matt. They're doing some highlights of the fight. I do not have the sound on right now. I don't want to talk it over me. I want to watch and come up with my own opinion. I really feel, you know, I've been watching Drew for a while now. I don't know him personally, but just from watching his fights, he's totally developed as a great mixed martial artist in the last couple of years. You know, he was, you know, obviously this is a prelim fight, but like I said prior, and even with all the fallouts, I feel like they kept this fight on the prelims for a reason. This is going to be a banger, this fight. This is going to get those that are on the fence, similar to the Curtis Jackson Kelvin Gastelum fight did the last pay-per-view. This is going to get those that are on the fence. Oh, bam, we're with our boys. We're buying this one. You know, we're buying this. These dudes are banging. This is a total banger right here. This is that curtain jerk fight, so to speak. Showing some power here. Actually, I could see Matt Frevola being on the same rise as Drew Dober. I just feel Drew is a little bit more developed his game than Matt is, but that's why they have the fight. We will see. We will see. And Drew is huge. Big Nebraska boy. I wonder what everyone has in the main event. I've been going back and forth on the main event since they announced it, really. I think though, but simply because Henry's not a natural striker, you know, he's been training, but has he been training to develop? The long reach and the awkward striking could be issues for Henry. Just to get scored on while you're getting your feet under you. You know, it tends to come with that power and those looping punches. It's tough to get in on Aljo like that. And Aljo, you know, he's got good enough MMA wrestling where he's going to score before that wrestling gets presented. You know what I'm saying? What's the commercial everyone's watching right now? I got a Major League Soccer Metro PCS commercial. Metro T-Mobile. Now it's something about sweaters. And a dad waking up with his kids. Kennedy Nishwinshu. I always screw up that name. That was a pretty solid submission earlier. I don't have long arms, so I don't know anything about that life with getting that front choke like that. If I'm in that position, my standing guillotines. I can't wrap in that quote unquote rear naked choke grip, or at least haven't been able to. My standing guillotines are grab my wrist bone there and I hike it up. I get the elbow down and I got to hike it up like that. That's how I would have to do a standing guillotine. But again, being I'm so damn short, it's not really a very threatening thing. I usually have to jump the guard anyway if I'm in that situation. But usually if I'm in a front headlock, I'm snapping you down, trying to go behind, or snapping you down to set up the guillotine. I'm not getting too crazy there. It's just not in my arsenal. Let's get to this fight. And Henry said he's going to go up to featherweight after this. More champ fights. Fantastic. I'm forever going to be wishy-washy on champ fights. I guess it all depends on what's going on in the division that the challenger's coming from. I worry that it puts the other division on hold. It's like, and then they create these interim title fights. It's another reason why I think that they should be open to more weight classes, because if you have more weight classes, you have more title fights. You don't have to worry so much about these fallouts or in terms if somebody's hurt, things like that. That's just me. That is just me. I knew I went live a little early. I'm trying to think what else got to talk about. I don't have any of my UFC cards here. I got them all in the closet. I got to get that stuff cleared up. Here we go. We got Drew walking to the cage. I didn't even realize this fight was in New Jersey tonight. Only active Nebraska-born UFC fighter. Interesting. Very interesting. I did not know that is Drew Dober they are referring to. Tied most knockouts in UFC lightweight history with 8. Interesting. Longest active UFC knockout streak, 3. Sixth most knockdowns in UFC lightweight history. Drew is definitely developing a little bit of a resume for himself. I wonder how he would fare with the top 10. I was hanging out with Grant Dawson last night. I don't ask the fighters. Usually, I don't ask. I don't pry when you got something coming up. I know everybody asks him that. Like we were in that setting where the conversation presents itself. Maybe we talk, but we were really just talking about the fights we were watching. That is definitely a fight I would like to see him versus Grant. Grant again has better wrestling, I feel, and actually I think he has better grappling. And Grant is developing his hands. I left that out since working at American Top Team with Thiago Alves, and just I know personally how great Thiago is as a training partner and a coach, developing hands, developing striking for MMA. Training with Pitbull back in the day, most vicious leg kicks I've ever come across. Hated it. God forbid he landed one early. It was going to be a long round. All right, Bruce is taking the center, making the announcements. I had a beer with Bruce Ruffler once. He was a cool dude. Actually, it was 2 beers. I kind of finished the last one kind of quick, though. Had to get out of there. I remember. All right. Matt is pumped. Obviously, as you know, Jersey just under New York. Not that far of a trip from Long Island. You go to Queens. You go to from Staten Island, Brooklyn. You could take the bridge over. You're right in Jersey. Newark isn't far away, although I don't know what city this is in. Prudential. Okay, yeah. So it's at the Meadowlands. So it's right over the bridge. That would be where the Jets and Giants play. And I always found it funny when or like near where the Jets and Giants play. It's the New York Jets and Giants. Obviously, they're the New York Jets and Giants. People could go screw themselves when they get into that. Oh, it's the Jersey Jets and Giants. But they had the same parking lot as the Jersey Nets. I always found that funny. And obviously, the Nets are in Brooklyn now. But anyway, all right. Both fighters take the center, touch gloves. Drew in the southpaw stance. Well, it looks like Matt did throw a couple feints there. You should also use his level changes. That's another form of feint I left out in the prior video. That's something I use to mix up my game. Let people think I'm thinking about striking. Matt looks in good shape. He's feinting a lot, moving his head with his punches, throwing some body kicks. That's another thing that's opened up to an opposite stance opponent. A lot of people utilize. I should utilize it more. He's really getting busy with that right kick. Oh, there's a straight right to Drew. Drew looks like he's kind of figuring things out. He's holding the center, but Matt seems to have the more active body language, so to speak. Both guys swatting. This is the banger I was talking about. Drew looks like he's kind of walking him down a little bit, using good lateral footwork to keep him on the fence. Matt shoots underneath strikes. Great way to set things up. Wasn't successful, though, but he did try to score on the way out. Drew won the exchange with the knee, although no big damage. Big bombs by Matt. Not missed, though. Matt should try to jab more to set up that body kick, something, or throw an empty right hand following the body kick. No joke it is. Joe, what's up, my man? Nice left hand of the body. You see, so what does the left hand of the body do besides set up power shots up top? You're going to stop somebody looking to wrestle. You're going to put them on their heels for a second, so that forward progress gets nullified. They can't really shoot. So, yeah, even though Matt, nice head kick attempt by Dober, but missed. A lot of heavy shots not connecting yet with most people. Only a big right hand by Matt. There's both feints. Matt's striking looks a little bit more developed in this fight so far. But Drew is staying poised, showing that cage experience, using that lateral footwork to keep him against the fence. You don't want to be on the fence against Dober. No, you don't. But he's doing a great job of keeping Matt there. That's true, Joe. Drew's got a double. So far, 230, and I actually do have this round to Matt just because the activity, he is scoring a little bit more. Drew's bloodied, but I'm not really scoring that. As we know, it's just colored. Blood is just colored sweat, according to John McCarthy. Go back and watch our video with him. There's a little roll. Matt cannot get off the cage. Drew's doing a great job of keeping him there. There's a nice little flurry. That is so tough to do. Everyone watching this now, watch how Drew is doing so good at establishing center. Great with the counter punches. All right, Matt created some space. See, this is where Matt needs to put some level changes in. What do I mean? Ooh, head kick there. Oh, I thought I kind of stumbled him. I was wrong. So, a level change is basically just a quick squat up and down. It's not as effective, but it's kind of like a feint. It keeps your opponent guessing. What are you going to do? You looking for a takedown? Ooh, nice Superman punch landed by Matt. That's a nice little weapon he's using there. Great video, yeah. Oh, kick to the armpit. You never want those. Drew looks like he's tightening up a little bit. I don't want to say he's frustrated, but he's thinking. Oh, big drop. Wow, this fight, I can't believe he's letting this fight go. This fight's over. Wow. Big win. Big win for Matt Frevola. Yeah, there's no argument there. Drew's I don't know if he took a lot of punishment. I thought that was a very justified stoppage. I want to see that replay because I was kind of looking down, but it looked like an overhand right that dropped him. He kind of rolled and then through the angles. When you have created, it's almost like he got Drew stiff, not stiff like he dropped it like before. He got Drew tight, so to speak, and then he just changed the angle on his right hand, and Drew just couldn't react because he was too tight and dropped him. Yeah, Drew looks like he's still a little hazed. All right, here we go. Come on, show that replay. Okay, so Drew throws the hook, lead uppercut, left hook, right hook. Nice. So Matt kind of rolled. See, I don't like leading with uppercuts. And for reasons like that, it leaves you open for things, which Drew did there. I mean, I'm not faulting him. He's got much better striking than I got. But he threw that lead uppercut, and Matt threw the counter left hook, and then threw his whole body into the right hook. Boom. And Drew's hand was down, and that dropped. I want to say that was like 15, 20 unanswered strikes, and those were heavy by Matt. I guess we'll be seeing him in the top 15 after that one. Drew Dober was my lock of the night, too. That's why they play the game. All right, guys. That's what I got. Check me out next week. I'm always on Fight Bananas every Wednesday evening on their Betting Bananas podcast with Elle Dawson, and the great Dave Van Auken. You can see some of our stuff. We were at Game Bread Bare Knuckle last night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Aloha, Anthony.